Hello, YouTubers and poker fans out there. Hope all is well. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a movie review and reactions to the movie, poker classic movie, Rounders. You know, that's the movie that starts out where he says, listen.
Here's the thing. If you can't spot the sucker in your first half hour at the table,
then you are the sucker. And you know what? Sometimes I do find myself going broke before I ever find the sucker at the table. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the movie Rounders, which is awesome, and it stars
Matt Damon as our hero, Mike McDermott. That's not the greatest picture. Edward Norton as Worm, a.k.a. Les Murphy. John Torturo as Joey Knish, a.k.a. New York grinding legend. Martin Landau stars as Judge Abe Petrovsky, a.k.a. Mike McDee's sugar daddy. Gretchen Mol as his girlfriend, who stays with him when he loses everything, but then leaves him when he doesn't. That might be a spoiler. And of course, in Hollywood, you can never get an actual Russian to play a Russian. We have John Malkovich playing Teddy KGB, a.k.a. the Mad Russian.
You want to take it up with KGB? You go right ahead.
Come on, easy there, killer. I'm not saying I want to take it up with Teddy KGB or anything like that. I'm just saying, can't we find a Russian to play a frickin' Russian? Is that too much to ask? But anyway, so the film starts. He goes rummaging around his apartment, grabbing all these stacks of cash, and then he goes and he plays in this huge game. And lo and behold, what happens? He overplays his hand, and boom! He definitely looks pretty shell-shocked there. But I'm sure he didn't lose that much.
down to the felt, Knish. I lost everything. Man, I lost my case money. I lost my tuition.
Oh my God, moron. What were you doing gambling your tuition? Are you stupid? Wow. That was dumb. I guess I would be a little shell-shocked too. I guess you get a pass then. So then after that, he starts driving this crazy truck. He quits playing poker altogether. Kind of weird they call the movie Rounders when he stops playing poker. And then he walks into this judge's game. And then all of a sudden he says to them, because they're all playing cards and he's trying to con his way into a summer clerkship.
Summer clerkship in your office says I know what you're holding.
I don't bet with a job like that. Let's just say I'll put you at the top of the list if you're right.
Okay. Well, you were looking for that third three, but you forgot that Professor Green folded it on 4th Street, and now you're representing that you have it. The DA made his 2 pair, but he knows they're no good.
Yeah, so he makes all of their hands, and so now the judge is really, really super impressed and says that he's going to put him at the top of the list. They ask him to sit down and play in the game, and he says that he doesn't play cards, which doesn't make any sense. How did you know what they all had if you don't play cards? And how is it that you don't play cards when at the start of the movie I saw you get your you-know-what kicked and you lose your case money and your tuition, all that stuff? Oh, I guess you don't play cards anymore. But then you go back to your woman and you tell her how proud you are of how you hustled your way through these judges. And then she says to you,
instead of coming home, you went and played cards with some judge?
I know, I wasn't even playing. No, they were playing.
I think you can tell by the look on her face that she does not believe a word he is saying right now. Not a word.
So she basically scolds him and says that if you use your hustling skills, then you'll be nothing but a hustler and a 2-bit loser. And then he says, again, that he didn't even play, which he didn't. And of course, she is about to go on her merry way. And then he stops her to say,
Hey, hon, can I take the Jeep tomorrow?
Yeah, where?
Worm's getting out. I was gonna pick him up.
Tomorrow. Beautiful.
I promised I'd be there, hon.
Worm. I can't believe you still know someone called Worm.
I'm not going to lie. I can't believe it either. But, I mean, I'm sure he's a good guy, right? Oh, wonderful. Well, that's fantastic. So, what have you been up to, Worm, while you've been in prison? Tell me.
And there's trade. So I got to keep 3 games going at once, all right? I got a game with the white guys, a game with the brothers, and a game with the guards. And the trick is, I gotta take enough cash off the white guys to lose it to the guards so that they, like, keep doing me favors and
Great. So then he goes on to explain basically that he's hustling from a couple of different communities and then losing the money to the guards in order to get him to do him favors and stuff like that. And then he asked Mike McD to participate in the game. And Mike tells him that he got his clock cleaned and that he doesn't play cards anymore. And of course, Worm says, well, yeah, you do play cards because I'm asking you to. And then he says, no, I don't play cards anymore. And then he says, yeah, no, I don't play cards anymore. And he says, okay, whatever, good to see you anyway. And thanks for picking me up out of prison and taking me to go play cards. It's great.
But then, strangely, Mike McD pulls over the car after he drops Worm off to play cards, and he says,
In Confessions of a Winning Poker Player, Jack King said, few players recall big pots they have won, strange as it seems, but every player can remember with remarkable accuracy the outstanding tough beats of his career. Seems true to me, because walking in here I can hardly remember how I built my bankroll, but I can't stop thinking of how I lost it.
Mike.
Hi.
Barbara. Worm said you'd be running a little late. Smell me.
Yeah, I probably won't even sit, I'm just gonna keep him company.
No, that's not gonna work. Here's the play. You're my new boyfriend. You're looking for a regular game.
Really? Well, I'm not much of a card player.
which I'll tell you, I can get behind this statement, because at the start of the movie, I watched him lose over $25,000. So when he says he's not much of a card player, I can get behind that.
It's at this point that Barbara tells Mike, hey, your friend Worm told me, you're a degenerate gambler. You're going to be here. No doubt about it. And sure enough, here you are.
I see.
Good.
Now, I must say, these guys are basically the definition of the word suckers. I mean, these guys are idiots. Trust fund kids have no idea what the hell's going on, and they cheat like crazy as they're playing them.
Worm and I fall into our old rhythm like Clyde Frazier and Pearl Monroe. We bring out all the old school tricks, stuff that would never play in the city. Signaling, chip placing, trapping. We even run the old best hand play. I can probably crack the game just as quickly straight up, but there's no risk in this room. Now, some people might look down on Worm's mechanics, call it immoral. But as Canada Bill Jones said, it's immoral to let a sucker keep his money. Like they teach you in 1L. Caveat emptor, pal.
Just to let you know, caveat emptor means buyer beware, which is translated loosely as, you don't want these guys in your game.
So then after they play cards all night, which he wasn't supposed to do, before he goes home, Worm says, hey, could you go ahead and take me to the poker club and vouch for me so I can run up your bill? And Mike McD, the kind of swell buddy he is, says, absolutely, what are friends for?
So then after picking up his loser friend from prison, who got him to gamble for the first time in over 9 months, you know, he goes ahead and his woman follows him into the room and says to him,
At least give me a story, you know? I mean, tell me you were out drinking till you threw up. Tell me you were getting lap dances over at Scores. I don't care, just give me something.
I was entertaining Worm. The least I can do for the guy.
So you were nowhere near a card game?
Sweetie.
What? I'm asking you a question. I'm just...
No, I was nowhere near a card game.
Okay, first of all, you were definitely near a card game. You were even playing at a card game, and I'm beginning to think that you might have a gambling problem, Mike, because now you're lying about your gambling. First you flushed like all of your money, and now you're lying about your gambling, and you won, and you're lying. I mean, that's even crazier. I don't know. But also, you know, I talked to my wife, and there is no way that she would want me. I said, honey, would you rather have me at a gentleman's club all night or playing poker all night? And she definitely would not want me anywhere near a gentleman's club or drinking until I threw up. She thought those were both bad options. So this lady's kind of kooky. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so after that, of course, we go back to Worm. He's back at the club. He is cheating like crazy. And of course, he's even slow rolling, which is really, really classless. It's like the worst thing you can do in poker is pretend that you don't have the winning hand, and then all of a sudden you turn over the winning hand after someone else thinks they have the winning hand. It's something that people do to get people upset or on tilt, and it's really classless.
Got the jacks. Come on.
Ace.
Oh, you got it.
6.
Wow, 2 pair, but I got 7s too, though, with my jacks.
Then, of course, Knish pulls Mike McD out of his lawyer's meeting to tell him something that I think all of us figured out like the first time we even saw Worm to start the movie.
The guy's a cheat. He always has been. Right now he's over there at Chesterfield's ruining your reputation with every lousy second he gives.
He's not only cheating, but he's also slow rolling people and stuff like that. And then so Mike McD leaves and runs over there to the club and tells him, hey man, can you just go ahead and dump all that money back? And he says, oh sure, I'll dump it back, I guess, just for you or whatever. And then, you know, he doesn't dump it back. And then he goes right to the cage and does this.
All right, so it's 10 grand total. Just take back the 2 we lent you and give you the white meat.
You know what? Why don't you give me all of it?
Usually credit players only leave with their profit. Otherwise the juice starts 5 points a week on Mike.
Oh, okay, we'll owe you.
I'm just beginning to think that Worm's not a very good friend. And yet, while all this chaos is going on, while Worm is having his issues, Mike McDee's not doing so great in school either. Let's take a look at his little presentation to the judges.
Please proceed with oral arguments now, if that is convenient for you.
Yes, it is, and again, I'm sorry that I'm late. Well, I think clearly the case which controls the issue at bar would be Texas versus Johnson, which holds...
Texas versus Johnson? Mr. McDermott, that is a Supreme Court free speech case that has no bearing in the premises.
Each group was apprised to ignore that aspect of this matter and focus instead on the idea of de facto segregation.
Dude, you're quoting a case that's... They specifically told you not to quote that case, and you're quoting it. That is rich.
Tomorrow's a week.
A week of what?
First 2,000, you're the Chesterfield.
Oh, that Worm.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, you just won 8 grand. Why go on the line behind another 2?
So he took, what, about 8 off of Roman and Maurice?
Yeah. Yeah, it comes in after you leave. Sits for like 20 more minutes. Cashes out for the full amount. Maurice hasn't been back since. I think he's been playing across the street. But, Worm's been around plenty. He's running up just under 7 grand.
Yeah. Well, do me a favor and just put him on his own.
Yeah, can you do me a favor and put him on his own? I mean, I just bombed my presentation in front of the judges, probably dropping out of school. My girlfriend just left me, and now I find out I'm down 7 G's for this guy. I mean, yeah, I'm not having a great day. You go ahead and put him on his own.
I mean, you're really jamming me up here, man. $7 grand. That's it. I can't go any deeper than that. I mean, you're off the tip.
I understand. That's okay.
And you got to go talk to Grandma. You got to square things away with Grandma.
Oh, come on.
You really do have to go talk to Grandma. I mean, you owe him $15,000. So that's something you should probably talk to him about. So what's it Mike in for right now? 22 G's? Good one, Mikey.
I know all the reasons I shouldn't be here. But sometimes reasons don't matter.
Yeah, I think any of us that have been following along with the movie can think of a lot of reasons why you shouldn't be there. But hey, you're here anyway. You're a degenerate gambler. Why not? And of course, your friend is a degenerate too, and you're meeting, trying to square things out, and he starts getting into an argument, and then all of a sudden you do what?
No, listen. He's good for it. He's good for it, all right? He's good for it, Mike. If you think he's good for it, it's on you, too.
Then it's on me, too.
15 large, 5 days, or I start breaking things.
I hear you.
Dude. I'm not even going to say anything. I mean, you're just not that bright. So, of course, Mike McD goes on a mad rush and, whips up a bunch of money, cash, in order to pay up Worm's debt. But, they're still short, and they're trying to figure out how are they going to get the rest of the money. And, of course, Worm has an idea.
I know this game up in Binghamton.
In Binghamton?
Yeah. It's like 16 or 17 guys. 2 full tables, all municipal workers. They come play right after they get their paychecks. It's very fat.
You sure? But Binghamton's 5 hours each way.
Yeah. Well, I figure there's 15 or 20 grand in that room. Okay, if we get even half of that, we're home.
Lead me to it. Municipal workers, huh?
Well, these guys work for the city.
They work for the state, you idiot. Oh, this is just stupid.
You know what I just realized? These guys are just like, this is like a comedy. These guys are like Dumb and Dumber. I just keep yelling at the screen, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. And they do it anyway. I mean, it's like a horror film, a comedy, all wrapped into one. I'm just can't keep my eyes off the train wreck.
18 months. He thinks I'm a total fish. He told me anytime I want a game when I get out, just look up his nephew. You just go in there, you ask for Sean Fried, you're in. You're gonna clean this game up. These guys are total suckers.
All right. Give me like 8 hours. Come back at 7:30.
Yeah, I was thinking, what am I going to do for 8 hours, right? Why don't I just come in? I'll sit for a little while.
No, not a chance.
What? I'll sit at the other table and play straight.
Listen, fine. You want to play straight? You go in there. I'll be back in 8 hours.
So, of course, even though our hero Mike McD was up $4,300, the idiot of all idiots. Maybe Mike McD is kind of an idiot too, because, I mean, I feel like I'm a good friend for gouging and giving him $20, maybe 50. He's going 25 G's deep. And it's pretty impressive. So, cheers, Mike. But anyway, Worm finds his way into the game anyway. And, I'll just let you see.
Check.
Check.
All right, free card. Here we go. 4th Street.
Hold on there.
Whoa, easy. What are you doing?
Give me the deck. What's the trouble, sir?
Relax, man. Don't get so agitated.
Looks like we got a road gang here.
A what? What are you, what?
Hey, what the hell's going on over here, Stu?
What are you saying? I don't even know what you're saying.
He's saying you're dealing off the bottom of the deck.
Oh, God. Come on, guys. Jesus.
What did he give him?
To me?
7 of hearts.
You boys professionals, you working?
Hey, no, listen. I was winning before this guy got here, all right?
Okay, let's let the cards do the talking. If the 7 didn't help you, listen to what you have to say. Ozzy, turn the cards.
What? Hey, come on. 3 of a kind. You dealt Ozzy 3 sixes like... Just saying, it's 3
One
of a kind.
last thing, Stu.
Hey, all right, take it easy now. Aren't you supposed to, like, read us our rights, please?
Okay, so if it wasn't bad enough that they just got their clocks cleaned and all their money taken from them by some police that they were trying to cheat, then Worm gives some fantastic news to Mike in the parking lot.
Listen, you talk to Grandma, you get him to stake me.
It's not gonna work, okay? We're not dealing with Grandma.
You said Grandma's on his own. You told me Grandma's on his own.
KGB bankrolled him.
You are like the worst friend ever.
I'll see you when I see you. Hey, at least you're rounding again, right? You're gonna thank me for that someday. I'll see you when I see you. Hey, at least you're rounding again, right? You're gonna thank me for that someday.
At least I'm rounding again? At least I'm rounding again. You are an idiot. I have lost my girlfriend. I am flunking out of law school. And I owe $15,000 to someone that will kill me within 2 days. And it's all because of you. But hey, at least I'm rounding again. Great game.
You never should have vouched for that scumbag.
Yeah, duh. Don't you think I know that by now? Hello? But, you know, I mean, you're the one that's working with a partner here. Maybe you could cut me a break.
You want to take it up with KGB? You go right ahead.
Never mind. I don't even know why I asked. I'll just go see Kanish. He'll hook me up with the cash.
What kind of trouble you in? I'm the worst guy. With the worst guy.
KGB.
Yeah.
Come here. Didn't I tell you? Never let that guy get a hold of you, huh?
You told me a lot of things.
Yeah. This time there is no money. I give you $2 grand. What's that buy you? A day? Nah, I give it to you. I'm wasting it.
That didn't go as well as I hoped. But let me tell you why I am such an awesome player, Mike McD says.
I never told anybody this. About 8-9 months ago, I'm at the Taj, and it's late, and I see Johnny Chan walk in. And he says 300, 600. And, you know, the whole place stops. Johnny Chan walks in. Everybody puts an eye on him. I mean, after a little while, you know, there wasn't a crap game going because all the high rollers are over there watching. And some of them are sitting there playing. When they're giving away their money, this guy say, "Oh, I played with a world champion." And you know what I did?
What?
I sat down.
No, you need 50, 60 grand to play right in that game.
Well, I had 6. But I had to know.
What happened?
Played tight for an hour. I folded mostly, and then I made a score.
White aces or kings?
Rags. I had nothing. And he makes a move toward his checks, and he looks at me. And then he looks at his cards, and he looks at me again. And he mucked it. I took it down. Did you have it? I'm sorry, John. I don't remember. I got up and I walked to the cashier. I sat with the best in the world. And I won.
Oh, that's hilarious. So you bluffed a world-class player one time, so now you think you're world-class. That is so stupid, I can't even explain it to you. A world-class player sometimes might even let you bluff them, and then they have you set up to take you out an hour or two later. So just because you bluff some guy one time, all of a sudden you think, hey, I'm final table material. You're as dumb as a worm.
I vouched for the wrong guy. So now it's on me.
I understand. So, what will it take for you to be free of this?
I need 15,000 tonight.
Michael. If it must be tonight, 10 is the best I can do.
Would you do that?
Would you do that? Oh my goodness, I think we got one. Oh, come on. I think we got one. I think we got a sucker right on the line. Don't you remember the first line of the movie? If you can't spot the sucker in your first half hour at the table, then you are the sucker. Well, there's a table there. There's two of them. One of them's obviously a sucker.
When my mother let me leave the yeshiva,
Dude, this is not the time for yeshiva stories. I need to know, are you giving me the cash so I can get in the game or not?
if it must be tonight, 10 is the best I can do.
Would you do that?
And for that, I owe.
Boom, baby! Boom! I'm going to play some poker against the Mad Russian.
Hopes at the tables, the musty smell. I feel like Buckner walking back into Shea. But what choice do I have?
Are you kidding me? You don't have any choice. You're a degenerate gambler. You have to go for it all. And you know what? Worst case scenario, you lose it all and you lose your life. So what? What's that worth anyway? Alright, maybe that's not the best attitude. So then after they play a while, of course, now it's Teddy's turn to play a hand like a complete moron.
Betty. All. You're right, Teddy. The ace didn't help me. I flopped the nut straight. He tripped me! Well, you feeling satisfied now, Teddy? Because I can go on busting you up all night. Нет.
And if you happen to be wondering right there, why did Teddy call off his dogs? Is because he knew this is exactly what would have happened to him if they would have laid one finger on our man Mike McD. I'm sorry, my bad. That's Jason Bourne. Right actor, wrong movie. So just go ahead and scratch that part. I guess he just didn't, I don't know. I don't know why he did that.
Turned my 10 grand into just over 60. Paid 15 to Grandma, 6 went back to the Chesterfield. As for Worm, well, I figure we're even. And after the 10 going back to the Professor, I'm back where I started, with 3 stacks of high society.
Wait, you're right back where you started, but now you're a law school dropout and you don't have a girlfriend anymore. And you paid off your buddy's debt with all that money that you won. So, what was the point of this whole movie? I don't understand. Why didn't you just go out to Vegas in the first place? Then you'd still be in law school and you'd still have a girlfriend. Why did you risk your whole bankroll in that first hand in the first place, you idiot?
First prize at the World Series of Poker is $1 million. Does it have my name on it? I don't know. But I'm gonna find out.
Boy, does that show you how dated this movie is now. 20 years later, and you're talking about $1 million events at the World Series of Poker. You have the Millionaire Maker. You have the Monster Stack. You have the big 1-for-1 drop. You have the main event, which you're getting paid $1 million at like 9th. So, you know, $1 million for first place. He's obviously not playing in the main event now, is he? Really hope you enjoyed this review of Rounders and had a few good laughs. I know I did. It was an absolute pain in the rear end to put all these clips together, which, of course, I don't own any of these clips. They are owned by Miramax. Miramax made Rounders. Matt Damon, Ed Norton, John Malkovich, all those good people that I took clips and put them on this video for. But hopefully you like this. Subscribe to it. Forward it to 7 people if you love it or hate it, because I don't have a job and I'm not making any money at this one. So if you want to see another video, you'll have to subscribe and forward this one.